Welcome back to the Virtue Table once again with Diana. I have on my table Freda and Patient again. We are so grateful that you guys could make it to the second episode of Proverb 31 Woman. And today we are really going to dive in on the beauty and the strengths of the virtue woman. Ladies, I'm so grateful because the strength in storm or the strength in peace, the strength in scarcity, the strength in beauty. I'm going to shift it a bit on the strength in entrepreneur because both of you are entrepreneur. And then we are going to really remain on the strength that comes with the storm, what we learn in the storm. Storm is not there to really break us, but the things we learn in the storm is the things that made us to be that virtuous woman that we ought to be. So one of the scripture on Proverbs 31:25 says, she is clothed with strength and dignity. She can laugh at the days to come. Wow. That is a woman with strength. Strength is not about being the perfect or having everything together. It's about depending on God through the storm. I think Psalm 46 verses 1 says, remind us God is our strength and our refuge in ever present trouble. Yesterday trouble, today's trouble, tomorrow's trouble. God is inside.
Yes.
So we are really going to break it down on that verse 25 when we are going to talk about the virtuous woman. What do they mean about that verse? She's clothed. She's clothed. She's clothed. It's not about, is it about the things we put on? Patient, let me start with you. Is it about the clothes we put on, the makeups,
No.
the facade?
No.
So just elaborate on that verse.
The verse say she's clothed in strength.
In strength.
And dignity.
Mm.
What is strength? It's not about the clothes. It's not about the appearance.
Yeah.
But this is inside of her. What she has built.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever comes her way.
Yeah.
She's going to put on an energy. Her strength. I'm going to do this. I'm going to pull through.
Yeah.
I believe with the help of God, because at times it can be tiring.
Yeah.
And I'm going to use example with my own business.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I do shipments West Africa, even from overseas. And most times it can drain you. Number one, if you don't have focus.
Yeah.
Trusting God, because it's not even with our own ability. Dealing with other people can be very frustrating. And my kind of business, you are dealing with carriers, transporter. Some of them tells you, I don't speak English. Espanol. But when it comes to money, they'll speak English.
Oh, for
this
sure.
This is trying to frustrate you.
Yeah.
Some will tell you, I only understand French. So how do you deal? Where does that strength come from? Bible says, my strength is from God. It's only God that can help you because you are dealing with people.
Yeah.
So this noble woman, I'm sure she didn't just have that strength even from the day she was born. It's something she would have cultivated.
Yeah.
Like, how do I do this? Probably maybe even with the help of her husband, with the help of people that surround her, because you can gain strength from your team, from your people that surround you.
Yeah.
More like a teamwork, So she must have gained her strength from these
there.
people. So dealing with some of these carriers, like I said, it drains. It's very frustrating. But at times I'm like, God, just give me wisdom, because wisdom even also come if you need strength.
Yeah.
You have to be wise
Yeah.
trying to deal with people. I just need wisdom to talk to these people. Rather, they will mess up the whole thing.
Yeah.
You won't be able to carry out that strength that you need
At that
even
time.
to do the right thing. You know? So that's one thing I will say, that for her, I'm sure she gained her strength, not giving up. I'm not going to give up on this thing. I'm just going to keep
Pushing.
pushing.
Yeah.
Pushing. It's like a pregnant woman. The first month, the second month, the 6th month. I'm tired. I won't get pregnant again. I won't do this again. I'm not going to continue. 8 months, the 9 months, and here we are. You know, so that strength has to be built from within. Within.
Yeah.
Your inner man is telling you, you can do it. You can do it. I'm not going to relent until I'm able to come through. I can do it. So for business, I'll say we all need strength.
Yeah.
We need strength. We need encouragement, even from people that surround us.
Yeah.
Co-workers, teamwork. I can't do it alone. I need you to help me so that we can achieve one purpose.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a good thing. I like the fact that it says that with dignity. And
that's the
dignity.
thing.
How is she able to come up with this? Strength and
Dignity.
That's
Freda, can you help me go more deeper when it comes to the dignity part? Yeah.
Because many times, thank you so much that you mentioned that, we quantify strength with loudness, rudeness. So if I want to show you my strength, that I need to be disrespectful to you, talk you down to show that I'm strong. No. And that is why I love the beauty of that combination.
Yeah.
Her strength came with dignity. She exercised strength with dignity. So, because when you pull others down, you are also pulling yourself down. And you mentioned working with team. You know, we can't say we have strength until we've worked with people.
Yeah.
And working with people will bring the good in you, also
the worst. The worst.
True.
Because human beings are different, with different characters, different upbringings, different way of doing things. And you have a vision.
Yeah.
Because you're building a vision. I mean, your business is a vision.
Yeah.
It's in everything, but it's a vision, first of all. There is a place you want to get to.
Yeah.
If you're delivering services, there is a kind of service you want your customers to have. It's not so much about the money, like you said, rightly. When you do a good
You'll
deed,
be remembered.
you are rewarded.
Yeah.
So the money is just the outcome of what you delivered. You know? And so, and when you want your team in that direction of your vision, there are some that genuinely want to help, but are coming from a whole different side.
Yeah.
That you need to get the right focus. You need to get them in the right place.
Yeah.
There are some that come with the intention to sabotage.
Hey.
And also those you need to get out, but with dignity.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
Because you may not need them today, but tomorrow you may need them.
True.
Exactly.
I always say never burn bridges anyhow, because the people may not be relevant to you today, but tomorrow you may need them. So how you part is very important.
You know, I'm going to give an example for what you just said. And this was, I was working with this particular company in Nigeria. And so my department, so I work directly with our clients. And our clients are prominent people. Like you're working with the manager of the big banks, you're working with politicians and all of that. Now, you know how Africa is. You send mail. Most times they don't check their emails. They are not people that really work with emails. You send mail to their mailbox, to their offices and all of that. And there's this guy that I work with. He's the dispatcher. Just pick up the mails, take it to them. And for some good reasons, when I call them, I just received your letter. And I remember end of the year, I got award from the company, monetary, plaque, landed property and all of everybody was like, Patience, you did well and all of that. After thanking God for the award, dedicating it to God, my family member, of course, I dedicated it to the dispatcher. And you know the reason why? I told them, I said, without this man, because they look at him like just a dispatcher, the post man and all of that, I don't think I will get this award.
If
It was a teamwork. He
Yep.
was working directly with me.
Yep.
Forget his background, forget whatever he
Yep.
was, you know. And there, the owner of the company called him out and they have to give him a gift. Because
Wow.
I recognized that it wasn't by my strength alone.
No.
It was a teamwork from someone you considered the lower,
Yeah.
colleague.
Yeah.
But if not for him, I
You
won't
wouldn't
be
have-
able to
Yeah.
get there.
Acknowledgement.
Yeah. So
Wow.
our strength is within each other.
Yeah.
Bringing out maybe 2% from you, 5% from you, 3% from me, and we're able to achieve that 10%.
Yeah. Very true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's, teamwork, they said, make dream works.
Yeah.
And fighting against each other
Oh my God.
does not bring, even we Christians, the world is watching us.
Yeah.
Because they watching me is not only on Sunday when I put on my
No.
clothes and go to church. It's when I treat them. How do I treat my neighbors? As Proverb 31 lady, you are being watched.
Of course.
Everything around you is your business. How do you deal it even with your clients, your workers? How do you deal with them?
Yeah.
Are you coming out from the place of? I want to ask you, because you have a company of over 100 workers.
People, yeah.
And we have talked about working with people bring whether the best out of you or the worst out of you.
True.
How do you deal with someone that you really know that changes with the weather? Meaning, when the weather change, the person change.
That is bipolar.
Yeah. How do you deal with such people?
Which
And
is in Europe, almost all
you
your
have
workers.
to keep your strengths and your dignity.
Yeah. But for me personally, I think, it's still an ongoing process, but I think now I handle it much more better. First of all, we talk about it, knowing who I am. Freda is not, I'm not the CEO of Comfort Masters. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
When I stand to deal with people, I'm a human being.
Yeah.
I'm a person who has a vision, who has something I'm selling to people.
Yeah.
God.
And I need the team to make it happen. And so I see myself and I see my team as a very valuable
Assets.
aspect of me getting the vision to happen. And yes, people change with the weather. So my assignment is not to be hitting their head when they change with the weather,
Exactly.
but kind of get human, go to their level. Just like you said with the postman, if he doesn't deliver your post, you can have the brilliance of ideas. They're not going to see it. They're not going to read it.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So I had a conversation with, because they're also human beings
Yeah.
with family, with issues. Sometimes they probably woke up with something that is not sitting well with them.
Yeah.
And just being approachable enough, letting them know that this conversation can be had within the company.
Yeah.
So it starts with your company culture. We can have this conversation.
Yeah.
There are no taboos.
At all.
If you woke up and your child is not feeling well, and so because of that you feel like you need to stay home. No, I rather have you on the job, but I also understand that you need to attend to urgent things. I want to have that conversation. And sometimes it's just a phone call and we talk about it like, okay, have you tried contacting this person to take care of your child?
Yeah.
Have you tried calling in the nanny? If that doesn't work and you need to sit, okay, then
stay
we
home.
make a day free for you so you can get that one sorted out. Because I know tomorrow when you come back, you're standing there with your full attention.
Yeah.
I expect your full attention because I've also gone a long way to pacify the client that, listen, we can't get it done today, but tomorrow we can get it done.
Yeah.
So you deal with people as people. Of course, every business is different, but deal with people as people. Yes, they are on my payroll, but it doesn't make them anything less. You get it? Deal with people like people. And so when I stand, I also look, when I'm dealing with people, my employees, I always look at it from the angle of the Bible.
Yeah.
What does the Bible say?
Yeah. That's it.
And then I take it to how will I want to be treated if roles were to switch.
Yeah.
How will I want to be treated?
Yeah.
I always want to be understood. I'm a person that always wants to be understood. So I will go the extra mile to also understand them. I may not agree with them, but at least I want to understand them.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
You get it?
Yeah.
That's
So
good.
for me, like I said, these are processes I'm still going through, because I always, as your business is growing, you grow with it.
You grow with it.
It's better if you grow ahead of your business. So every time, try to stay a step ahead of
A
your
growth
business
mode,
and grow, so that you don't become a crisis manager.
Hey.
Because
Wow.
when we fail to grow, when issues step in, which they do, because your business is organic.
Yeah.
You are working with people who are organic.
Yeah.
We are not robots. It's not a robot.
Yeah.
It's, everything is in motion and it's progressive. When we fail to grow and manage issues properly, we begin to micromanage.
Yeah.
That is when you sit at everybody other,
Yeah.
and only you can run the thing.
The company.
You
No.
can, but you will limit it.
Yeah.
You will limit the capacity of your company, because it will all have to fall on your leg. If you are not there, like you mentioned in the last episode, if you are not there, things can't go. Everything rests on you.
disaster.
People have to see you. People have to. No.
Yeah.
If you are micromanaging the thing, no. Give people responsibility. Make them accountable.
Yeah.
And know who to hold accountable.
Yeah.
Don't sit hoping that things will fall. Have faith in the people you work with.
Yeah.
Train them. Train them. Because those are also some things usually we don't do. We want people to do best,
But we don't
not
train them.
invest
in them. Yeah.
If they train them.
Very
So
vital.
that is part of the dignity.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have an expectation,
Yeah.
but also do the needful,
Needful.
to get them equipped for the
Yeah.
job. That's the dignity part.
Yeah.
My business, well, you know, so I'm going to share it. You already know, but it
Yeah.
will be a repetition
Yeah,
for
yeah,
you.
yeah.
So we started in 2008, thereabout, doing well. From 2011, it was like every year we're having a new branch. Every year we're having. So we were growing. We grew to almost to 200.
Wow, that's
employees.
awesome.
So
Huge
we
assignment.
were doing, with the grace of God, very well. I like working with teams. So you are good in this. Take the branch. And so you have like pioneers where they are only only ask for feedback from the people responsible. I'm not going to go to the 50 people in one place and say, no. I trust that the people will do a great job. And we have those conversations happening.
Pulling strength from each other.
And we rub ideas, we have meetings, we learn from each other, we take feedback from each other, we brainstorm. But the day-to-day operational running was not resting on me so much at that time. And that's how I wanted it.
It does. You have been dead by now. God forbid, because it would be too much on
Too
you.
much.
Yeah. So we got to a time where I'm also the type, I think I see you do that also, Patience. I am not the type that sits still. That's my grace. I'm wired for something. And when the Holy Spirit crosses something on my mind,
Go for it.
I figure it out and I move. And so we had invested, we had a strategy for 2025 at that time. And so when I feel the edge, I was just moving. And so we invested. And cash flow wise, we were having issues. So cash flow, there wasn't enough cash flow coming to foot the constant bills, current bills that were coming. And so in Belgium, if you know that when you have almost about 200 people on your payroll, you in a month you're paying nothing less than 300,000 to the government for taxes.
Yeah.
So, and we got behind a few payments, and so the arrears, when you go behind every month is 11%.
Yeah.
Adding
Wow.
11. So
That's
it
huge.
was growing, and then
That's a lot.
yes,
Yeah.
a whole lot.
Yeah.
So at the time, it was like I was owing the government, as a company, we're owing the government about
And the government
300,000.
will come after you.
Yes,
Sure.
300,000. And why am I talking about this? Because that is part of doing business. Your own may not be cash flow
No.
issues. Your own may be HR, dealing
Yeah.
with people,
Yeah.
a structure that is not in place, whatever. But we all go through those storms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I had to read a book that talked about, it says numbers, and then he talked about the first 10 years of a company, the phases it had to go through to make your first million, the phases you have to go through to make your first 10 million, the phases you have to go through.
Yeah.
When I read that book, it was an eye-opener for me. But it was in the storm. I read that book.
Yeah.
Because I needed to figure out what went wrong. You know, though I knew it was over-investing, okay, how could I have prevented it? So the next time when I get there, I know when to kind of hold back and when to push on, because those were opportunities that show up where we could buy buildings and all. So for me, if I see those kind of, I'm like, okay, get it, go for it, you know? And as at that time, we could. But of course, I didn't look at the long term. But what these challenges came to do with me, I think even me as a believer, it did something to my faith.
Yeah.
Because now I was not a believer going to church, praising God for the good things. But I had to learn to be a believer who will praise God through the storm.
You know, this is a very good one.
Who will raise my hand through the storm.
storm. Worship
Who
through
will
it.
thank God through the storm.
That's it.
I may be weeping, but I'm still
praising
him
and trusting
praising
God.
Him.
Yeah.
Maintain a right attitude even through the
Through
storm.
the storm.
Treat your workers rightly
Through the storm. Yeah.
Don't use the storm as an excuse not to pay them on time, to ignore them, to talk down on them, to be harsh, to be just because I have stress. No, I had to learn that. Freda, this is where this is the time you have to show them that you are a born again
Christian
employee.
I once had a boss.
Wow.
He's an Arab guy. And this guy, I know some clients will come, oh, this your worker did this your worker did that. And you know what my boss will say? This my former boss will say, don't talk to them like that. You don't even know the side of the bed from. They've been stormed. It's been snow. Don't do this. Do not talk to these people anyhow. You know, he's always ready to don't talk to my people. Don't talk to my employee like that. Don't do this. And the reason is because some of these clients just felt, oh, if we're able to get to their boss, you know, we will tell them and maybe they will just sack them or do something. But this man is an Arab guy.
That's it.
He says no.
And so what you've been through and so stuck.
You don't even, for them to even come to work today, it's a privilege. Don't do this. And these are all part of the strengths we are talking about. But some people want to pull you down from their lack of understanding. I like what you said about your staff, you know, trying to be in their shoes at times. I tell people, I deal with the most crazy set of people when it comes to dealing with transporter. Of course, they will give you tales. Oh, I'm picking up this car now, even while they are not picking it. But at times you don't blame them. I've had a driver that picked up a car from, I think, Georgia, going to Florida. For 1 week, I didn't hear from the driver.
Cruising.
I said, okay, this is the last call before I'll call the police. By the time I called, his wife picked up the phone and said, oh, my husband died 2 days ago. What am I supposed to do in that situation?
My God.
But this is the business we are talking about.
Yeah.
Am I going to close down the business?
No.
No.
Let's move on.
I need all the strength to move on. I've had issues that a friend gave me a stolen car to ship to Africa.
Chai.
The car was shipped. Went through custom. Custom didn't do their work. Then they came for me and said I was going to pay $64,000.
Chai.
If not, I'm going to the courts. And I got a lawyer. But I needed all the strength.
Yeah.
In fact, I didn't tell anybody. I went to Africa, came back. That was when in fact, the whole thing I started out before I told my brother, because I'm not going to put fear.
Yeah.
I don't need fear.
Yeah. No,
so most times I'm like, you know, I pray for direction to conquer fear. So I need all the strength, the inner strength to move on. In that storm, I just need that strength. But by the grace of God also, Lord, give me grace to pull this through this. I'm not going to be, something must have said you are traveling or even at the border, your name is there already, that you did this. But, fear of the unknown.
It happened to me. Because when we're going through those, that issue took like roughly 2 years. And then my brother was marrying at that time.
Oh.
And we all prayed for marriage that he would get back in relationship and with a God-fearing somebody. Because he's our big brother.
Yeah.
And we have other step brothers, but within my maternity, he's the only brother, and he will carry the name forward.
Far.
So we were like, God
just
and
do this.
so they were marrying, and he invited us. If he had not invited, I would say, okay, I send some money and it's okay.
No.
But he invited us. I mean, you were at the wedding. That was hell moment for me at that time.
But you have to set yourself up.
And I was like, do I go? We don't have the money. Even if the money I will use to buy ticket alone,
Let me give it to him.
give it to him. And I'm going with my family. I cannot say my mom should be paying her own ticket by herself. So those were the things that was going through my head. And I told my husband, I said, I need to go. And my husband is the type who say, go. With struggle, people will say, why the people, because we have gotten to the part where bailiffs were coming to the office. And where my staff was like, oh my God, bailiffs are coming, and I need to calm them down.
Yeah.
I need to tell them it will be okay. I don't know how,
but it will.
God will take care of it.
Will.
We will swim out through the storm. And then these same people, I have to tell them, I'm going to Africa because my brother is marrying. Do you know how it will sound? Like bailiffs are just
and you are buying tickets
in and out, and you are just going for a wedding.
Yeah.
It's not even an emergency, like in their head they're thinking it's not like even like emergency. And you are buying tickets and you're really going to Africa, and when they hear Africa, they're seeing the good wedding. They think probably I'm going to be at the beach and all that.
To spend all the money there.
Why am I saying that? Your strength will be tested.
It's real.
And strength is not loud, because at that time you want to explain yourself to everybody. But I needed to be quiet. The only person,
going through that.
The only person I owed explanation to is God. And he knew my situation anyway.
He's the only one that can come
it's
through
transparent.
For you.
He knew it anyway. Nothing was hidden from him. So I just needed to do the needful. I needed to be there to let my brother know. We prayed God for this.
Just happened.
We are here to support you.
Yeah.
And it was a beautiful event.
Yes.
I liked it. It was nice.
You understand?
Yeah.
And we showed up and we did what we had to do by God's will, and we moved on.
Yeah.
And why am I saying this? Strength. And dignity.
Clothed with it.
Because sometimes when we're going through storm, we want everybody to hear, no, I don't know, just so that maybe they can have.
When it comes to a woman, because we're talking about the Proverb 31 woman that is trusting God for a child. How are you going to talk about where do you want her strength to come from?
I've been there too, so I can talk about that.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
We married, my husband and I, and of course when we married, we said, okay, first year we're just gonna have fun,
enjoy the honeymoon,
enjoy our honeymoon for a year.
The ladies these days, they get married, the mother-in-law somewhere for the very first year or the second year,
pressuring them.
If you are not going to have a child, leave my son's house.
So let me just share my own experience. Of course, I didn't have that pressure coming from my in-law side. I did, thank God. Of course, we also didn't live that close. Whether the pressure was coming, probably will be coming to my husband, because not to me. But we lived in a church community that it's African, and you know that is an African thing. That
Culture.
when you marry, at least after a year, you should be having some fruit to show.
Yeah.
And if 1 year is a bit too early, okay, 2 years
2
at
years.
least you should be.
Max.
You understand? So the people started talking, and everything you do, you can't even look slim. She's just busy about her body, not thinking about children. You know how people can be very vicious and talking.
Hey.
But one thing I learned, I knew people were praying for me, but also one thing I learned, God told me early, children does not come from
At all.
trees. They don't come from doctors. They don't come from nobody.
Reward from
I
God.
give. Kids.
Yeah.
So fix your eyes on
On
me.
me.
Nice.
And yes, there were some weeping nights, but I wept to God.
So
And
where
in
did
the
your strength
morning,
come from?
I clean my face. My
From
strength
him.
came from the fact that knowing that it's God
God.
that
It's
gives.
God.
I
mean,
want you to say it
Yeah.
loud because
Nobody can produce it for me. No, even my parents, as much as they wanted me to have kids, my dad, I saw the frustration in my dad's eyes. Though he never told me, why are you not having kids? But I could see the frustration.
Yeah.
Like,
senses.
Yeah.
you know, but he can't give me that.
Yeah.
Only God.
Yeah.
I just wanted to hear it, and I want the viewers also to hear it from you, because at times, you know, when we talk about this strength, a woman that is trusting God for a child will be vulnerable. A lot of them are vulnerable. Then they end up making mistakes.
I know.
You even see pastor tell them. I had a friend. Yeah, wait, you know, she's gone, and the pastor told her, when you are ovulating, come see me. And I told her, oh, this man is planning to have sex with you. Because I don't know why pastor should tell me
And
when
you
I'm
are ovulating.
ovulating, come see you. When this lady is saying for the past 10 years, I've been trusting, and it's not happening.
It's
Look
not
at Sarah.
easy. Yeah. The moment
Look at
of
That was
Anna.
example.
You understand?
Yeah.
Bible has serious. Those were
Yeah.
also
That's why I said
places
we-
I
we-
took my courage from.
Exactly.
Like,
But
listen,
some of us, we just read it, and because of the flesh, because of the things we are seeing, the mother-in-law, the friends, oh, that
The
one
pressure,
had
the pressure from outside, they make wrong decisions.
even listen to what happened to us in the process of it. Diana, they had married a year before us, so Diana had Terrence,
I have Micah.
and then Diana had Micah. You know, for her it was like going smooth. You know, like
different risks.
planned. You
Even
know,
if
like.
you come from the same womb,
Yeah.
it's totally different.
Destiny is different. Eh?
And then you can just imagine the pressure. But I didn't have pressure. I saw
At
it
all.
differently because I knew children will not come from her for me. Will not
Yeah.
come from nobody.
Of
Not
course.
even from my husband. Because if God doesn't put the seed there,
The same
it
thing with
was-
my elder sister.
Yeah. Yeah.
Boom, like that. I'm like,
you understand?
she's
So,
doing it.
so what you understand? Some people is like they have a
elder
they have
sister
a
is like
contract
that.
with God on
You
that.
just come. You don't even know she's pregnant. Then the next thing, oh, she just
She
said,
said. She said some people they
It's
have
like
contracts
they have-
with God.
Like they have
God,
a deal with
let
God
it, let
on
it
that.
flow.
You understand? And so my husband and I, we could do two things. We could either sit back and envy them. I want to mention that.
Yeah.
Or we could get involved in the process and see their kids as God's way of preparing us, like
That's
how
exactly
to treat
what they
children,
did.
how to handle children. And so we had this conversation.
Yeah.
My husband came to me and said, yes, it's frustrating that, and in the process I had miscarriage one time, yes. And my husband was like, you know what? I'm gonna take Terrence and I'm gonna take care of him as my very own. I will babysit him.
It was
I'll
my
brush his
nanny.
teeth. I will do this. I said, come on,
because he's
go on.
keen into
Yeah,
that
but
strength.
that's wisdom.
He's keen that, say, I'm just going to key into this
Yeah.
because I'm trusting God.
It was sowing a seed there.
He was sowing a seed,
Good.
and in the process, he was
Yeah.
learning
Yeah.
To be
the
a father.
responsibilities
That comes
involved
with it,
in
eh?
raising kids.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we say we want it, but we're not ready.
No.
Honestly,
No.
and I believe God knew that time if the child have come. No, I will not like Madi, because that time also for us, we were a newly wedded couple. I had just come from school, so my work, I was working, but it was not like wow, because you were a junior.
Yeah.
Yeah. My husband had just stopped his football career.
Yeah.
So it was not that there were huge finances coming in raising kids costs money.
Exactly.
We also needed to get ourselves together. So even though in our own minds we were not busy with that, we just were serious to have a kid. I believe God in his wisdom knew that we were not ready.
Freda, I have a question.
It came to even a time where I had to go work part-time because my work, what I was doing was to Holland, and I didn't like it. I was doing part-time. My husband, and I'm on air, you will listen to this. we barely had food to eat. When the day we can have samol with pepper and add a little bit of sardine to it, it was party for us.
God is good.
Oh,
we were happy. We were joyous. Like, oh wow, what a great meal. Is that the place you want to raise kids?
No way.
So God in his own sovereignty knew that there is still preparation.
Can they handle this?
You understand?
Now?
We
be able to care for them.
Yes, you understand. So for me, even though the pressure outside and people in your year and 3 years, they were counting the years for us, and they still don't have.
Especially if they are Africans.
And you know, I thank God that he really gave us the grace, even though there was a storm, serious storm. We felt the storm. I will not say we didn't feel the pressure. And of course, if people have to wait 10 years, you know, people talk, the pressure, family begin to ask you what is going on and all that. It can be very heavy. But all I want to say, keep your eyes on God.
Trust God.
Because if God could give Sarah,
after how many years?
Old, still cause her to not only take in seed, but to be able to hold it full term and give birth
at old age.
That God have not changed
at all.
It tells me it has nothing to do with age. No. Actually, I see my kids now, the enjoyment they were having. If they had come like 2 years earlier, they would see suffer. And probably I wouldn't have been able to go after all, because going through those time of scarcity pruned something in me. Grew something. Brought some creativity. Caused me to draw closer to God.
Yes.
Caused me to grow closer. I remember that time I was always on my knees. Even when I go to church, on my knees. I went so on my knees, my knee grew. I had for many years, I had those black spots on my knee. That is how much I was on my knee that time.
Thank God.
It drew me to God. Because I was coming from a very rough youth, you know. I was among the youth that would go to disco and dance our head off. So God needed to break me in that area. And if it was going to be through that childbirth that he would get my attention, he was going to use that.
Yeah.
So can you say this new generation, some of these ladies that go into marriage, why can't they, put themselves in your kind of situation? Or if they're in your kind of situation, what kind of advice can you give to them when you know the way they operate now?
Yeah, that was a question I wanted to even ask both of you when it comes to personal insights. We have been talking about the storm, what the storm does to us when we come out and people around. And I love what you said. In the storm, you must trust God if you want to come out victorious.
Yes.
Because sometimes we want to see the end of the storm before you say, God, we submit. God said, in the storm, trust me. And the question I wanted to ask both of you, how do you balance being a virtuous woman, hardworking, being compassionate in this we are in a fast space of this world? How do one balance it? I'm a Christian, I'm a business owner, I'm going through storm. Because sometimes if you are going through storm and you don't have God inside, you even lose yourself inside. You become a totally different person. That even people around you cannot even recognize you. Is it the lady I know 2 years ago? No, the storm. So how the storm shape you is very important. How do one balance it? Freda, I will ask both of you the same question.
Yeah, I think for me, keeping God the God factor, making it the focus, kind of kept me balanced. Let me put it like that. Because the storm can be rough sometimes. Example, some of my own rough, how things could have turned out. When I was going through those financial difficulties in the business, one of the thoughts that often came to me was, hello, just let the people go. Declare yourself bankrupt
and close it
and have your peace. It sounds like a very good idea to me, because that will release me of the stress. It's like I will bail out of the storm. I went to God. God said, no, this is not the one you're just going to roll away. And some people might have done it because you seek advice from your accountants and all. Everybody is advising you. Like, okay, cut this off, cut that off, cut that off. And I needed to sit down because I didn't start this. You remember, I started a business because I wanted quality time with my son and my family. I never asked that this will grow to that proportion. That was not my ambition. That was not my dream. I just wanted a job that is, because my job was not 9 to 5 at that time. So I needed just a space where I could just get done, be busy with my family without. Before it got all out of hand like this. So I cannot just put a pause on it because I didn't start it. For people who were working with me, they always knew anytime we had a corporate meeting, I always tell them, this Comfort Masters is more than Freda. There is a God factor in this, and you don't want to forget it. If you're only looking at me, you will make a mistake because I'm not tall, I'm not big, I'm not strong. You will miss the point. But it's the God factor. So for me, when I went to God, and God was like, just stay faithful, pay your people, even if, because I could also have decided I will pay the government and leave the people. But God reminded me, you are feeding the mouth of over 200 families. You can't be careless. You can't be careless. You can't think about you now. You need to think about them. Pay them. If you work for their money, pay them. The rest will take care of itself.
Wow.
So
Patience. I want to, go ahead.
Here, and this is because of what you said. So I'm going to say, indeed, you are a noble woman. So I said, our inner strength is reflected in her decision and the way she treats others, the way she seek to live a life of purpose.
Oh.
Did you hear what she said? How she related with her people? It's her inner strength. She was able to come up with a decision. If I have to close this, so that I don't have to owe them.
Wow.
So
That's it.
I didn't know she was going to talk about that, but
That's
it's something
it.
I wrote up because this is what
Proverbs 31 lady is talking about.
So it was a good decision. So at times, it also comes with structure. And like I said, if I'm going to, even working 8 to 5, if the place is not structured, I can't.
You can't function.
I can't. It's going to be a problem. Things are not going to be done the right way. Then as a business owner also, how do I deal with people? I go to church. Probably I'm in the choir. Women praying for the women meeting. I have a business. I have a family, multitasking. I have a child. I have to do the school errands and all of that. How do I combine this together? How do I present myself that this is why I am? Like I said, my business, it could be frustrating, but how do I deal with this driver? Scripture says that a merry heart is like a medicine.
It's a medicine,
I don't want to have an heart attack, and I know that these guys, you talk to them at times, they are very furious. But I think about it that if I'm in their shoes, I will go crazy. Because you have a driver that is supposed to be at the port, maybe by 8, and probably he's not able to get the documentation of that car. He's waiting on me. I'm trying to contact the person that is meant to send the doc receipt. That person is still, I took my son to school. I'm not able to send it. Am I going to wait for that person, or I should just go ahead and do it, rather than thinking, oh, I'm the chief operating officer, I shouldn't do this and all of that. Then the driver get furious. And I'm like, okay, if you want to go, go. At times I call my driver, oh, sweetheart, I'm so sorry. You saying that, the whole issue is
it's done.
Okay, I'll wait 10 more minutes. But ordinarily, they are not even meant to wait. They just want to pick up the car. They need the documentation, go to the port because they have schedule.
Yeah.
So if I say I'm a nobleman, how do I relate? Am I going to say, oh, I go to church, I'm only nice to the people at church? Then when I'm dealing with the driver, I'm like, shut up, you don't need to talk to me like that. I'm using the F word.
No.
So if I say I'm a noble woman, the same character everywhere. Church.
Yeah.
Because character is like a smoke.
Yep.
You can only hide it.
Yep.
It will show.
To show.
And it's not by the degrees that you have.
No.
Some people, I know some men will tell you, I don't go after fine face.
Mm.
The heart and the character.
Yep. That's it.
The heart and the character.
Yes.
I had a guy that was telling me, oh, I was supposed to, this is my long-time girlfriend, but we didn't end up together. I said, why? My family doesn't like her. Do you like her? She has a bad character. So it wasn't about your family.
No, the sign is there.
That up. Because he was quick to say, my family doesn't like her.
Shift the blame.
And I said, do you like her? And he said, no, the character.
The character.
It's like a smoke. So I'm not going to be nice to some people. And I'll say, because these people are working under me, this driver, I'll talk to them anyhow. I'm going to lose clients.
Yeah.
I will lose my clients. I will lose integrity also. Honesty. Compassion comes in. You were talking about compassion. Have compassion on these people.
Yeah.
The truth is, when you have been through the storm, you develop compassion.
Yes.
Honestly, maybe I was not such a bad person before my storm, but going through the storm,
you become more compassionate.
More compassion.
Yeah. Ladies, sorry to really come in here. Our time is fast spent. I know.
Oh, Jesus.
I know it was such an awesome second episode of the Virtue Table. But watch out. There's more still to come about Proverb 31 lady. So much value to be added. I love how both of you came out from your storm, because second episode we are talking about storm.
Yes.
So I love that you bring along your scars. It's your trophy, and you are telling people, I went through it. I came out. Yeah. Look at me now. I'm a better version of me.
Yeah.
So, ladies, don't let the storm keep you there.
Yes.
There is more after the storm.
Yep.
There's more light after the storm.
Rainbow.
Yeah. There's more victory after the storm.
Yes.
So go through it. Carry yourself with strength and dignity. Yeah. God is counting on you and I to come out from the fire. With or without smoke, you are coming out. Yeah. Thank you so much. Once again, this is the Virtue Table, and see you again on the third episode of Proverb 31 Lady. I love you. See you. Bye-bye.